We'll do this one kind of swingy, I guess. Yeah. One,
Thank you. didn't turn it off. Can we get some love for the band, please? Jeremy, Mark, Brian. Yes. Good morning, everybody. It is just such a joy to be here with all of you. I feel like I haven't been here in a while because I haven't. What's my name again? So for those who don't know me, because I know we have some new people who have come in January, the holiday season, I'm Reverend Deanne Morency. I'm the associate minister here. And on platform with me this morning, we have...
Tyler, prayer chaplain, longtime friend. Hi.
So it is just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to be here with all of you. I really do miss you when I'm not here. So know that. Know that. You guys always have a little piece of my heart, right? We are doing a series on the 5 principles, right? We're going back to beginning of the year, our year of commitment. We're going back to basics. We're going back to what the foundational understanding is of who we are and what we believe. And so if you're new to unity, Tyler, how would you describe what unity is in one sentence? Go.
Well, I would say that divinity is already within us and within every animal and every piece of existence. But there's one God, that's the first principle. There is one power. The second principle, that one power is in me.
Is you.
It is me, right. So these 5 principles trying to simplify the unity teaching that the divinity is in everyone, it is in me. We're on principle number 2 today.
Yes, we are. We're going to be sitting in the I am. Are you guys ready for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is the thing that makes unity so unique, is this idea of the I am, that we are divinity itself. And we're also anchored in love. I mean, it's a community that's really anchored in love, anchored in the understanding that as the I am love.
Yes.
That's who I am called to be, and that's what I'm called to see.
And I am peace in the midst. I am wealth no matter what is going on.
Yes.
I am freedom even if a situation is demonstrating that I might think I'm not truly free.
Yeah, does anybody relate to that over the past couple of years? Right? This idea that external conditions are creating something in our lives, and what we know and believe is that when we stand in the I am, that we are capable of creating an experience that is independent of circumstance.
Right.
So, having said that, I am going to invite Brittany Gilmore up here. She is our guest soloist today. And all the music today is going to be centered and anchored in the I am. And so, obviously, the I am light was an easy option for us to pick in terms of who we are and what we believe. So I invite you to sit back right now. I invite the prayer chaplains to rise and encircle the community, and that is both the community that is present here and just sending so much love to all of you who are watching on the live stream and in Zoom. We love you as well. You are held in this prayer field right now. So we're going to let Brittany lead us in, and then I will lead us in an opening prayer.
The things my family did, I am not the voices in my head, I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light, I am light. I am not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of a dream I left behind. I am light, I am light. not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star shining over it all. I am light. I am light. Oh, I am light. I am light.
So we breathe into this space, this place that is light, where we are divinity defined. In this moment, we allow ourselves to touch the very truth of our being, the I am that we all are, consciously choosing to release some of our story, whatever it is that we brought into this space with us, whatever might have happened before, whatever we think is happening after. And in this moment, we allow ourselves to be the I am, to be stillness, to be peace, to be love. And what we know is that as I say yes, as you say yes, that the way is made in time and in space. And it's from this place of love, of joy, and of such compassion that we truly create a world that works for everyone. How grateful I am for this opportunity to rest and trust and know that I am light. You are light. We are light. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Thank you, everyone. Tyler?
Thank you, Deanne. Thank you, Brittany. If there is anything that is on your heart that you would like to join with someone, to agree with in the field of affirmative prayer, you can send us a prayer request on the website. With the prayer chaplains are honored just to agree with you in that next good blossoming in your life. And also, if you're here visiting with us on Sundays, you can pray with the prayer chaplain right after service. Again, the power of agreement and the power of declaring and affirming the divinity is already within you. So join with us in that way. Another way that we connect is through this spiritual connection card. So if you're here in the sanctuary and if you didn't get a bulletin, just raise your hand. Inside the bulletin is a connection card. We're going to return to this a little bit later, but for now you can let us know who you are and how you found out about Unity San Francisco. If you're viewing online, click the connection card button or the link in the chat and join with us in this connection card way of connecting. And on the connection card, if you're a first-time guest, please let us know. We just love to send you a little token of our love. And if you're here in the sanctuary, right here in the foyer, we have little gifts for you. So thank you for joining us. A little PSA letting you know that because of the city mandates, we're always asking everybody to wear the mask, and all of us that are on the stage and the singers, we're doing now the rapid test in the morning. So we all tested negative, and that's the only reason I'm taking off my mask when I'm up here. But let's, as we're getting ready for our community song, I want to invite our people online to go to the website, click Spiritual Salon, because right after this, we're going to have a little moment of meeting and greeting with social distancing. Ask your neighbor what they prefer, the elbow bump, so we feel safe together. But let's invite up the music team. Let's get ready to sing together, Down in My Soul.
The music, down in my soul,
down in my soul. my soul.
I am a new day.
Down in my soul. Down in my soul.
I am a new day.
I am a new day.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. I hear the silence.
I am the silence.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I hear the silence. Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I hear the silence. Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. I am the power.
I am the power.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I am the power. Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I am the power. Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home. All right, everybody, meet and greet your neighbors. Say hello. Give them a handshake, a hug, or not, an elbow. Say hi to Zoom. Happy Sunday.
Hey Denise, hey Cindy, hi Ethel, good to see you. Kate Hunt, I see you. We're inviting everybody to take their seats, and we're going to mute all of our friends on Zoom, and we're going to take our seats as you're willing and able. Let's give our attention back to Deanne.
Hi, everybody. So there's going to be potluck downstairs for hospitality, so there'll be much more time for people to connect and to interact with each other. So now is the time for our blessing of the children, and it's something that is very sacred. It's the child that we are, and it's also the children that you can hear coming up through the vent right now who are downstairs. It's the children that are here. It's the children that we are. It is the children of the world that we're holding in this blessing. And it is time for our fabulous, wonderful teddy bear drive. So Ken did a recording so that for those of you who don't know what our teddy bear drive is, you can get looped in.
Hello. It is time to launch our teddy bear drive again. For those of you who aren't aware of it, our teddy bear drive is something that we have done for over a decade here at Unity San Francisco. And in the month of February, we collect teddy bears, brand new teddy bears, and we collect them for kids entering the foster care system, being removed from their homes by social services, as a way of comforting them when they're going through a very stressful time. So we bring the teddy bears into the sanctuary and we infuse them with love. And then we give them over to the social service agencies that will be dealing with these kids. It's a beautiful and direct way that we can help in a stressful time. I didn't know how important it was until I brought my own child, Toby, who you all know, into our house. When he was 16 years old, he moved in with JD and I. And when he came with all of his belongings, he also came with 7 stuffed animals that he had received every time he was moved from house to house in foster care. Now, he was moved much more than 7 times, but these 7 comfort animals he kept with him and brought with him to our new permanent home. So we got a firsthand witness of the power of that love reaching out to a kid in a very difficult time. I ask you to help us collect teddy bears for children going through similar things. You can click on the link below and order them to be delivered to us directly, or you can bring the teddy bears yourself here to the sanctuary and let us infuse them with love all month. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your help. Thank you for you. Namaste.
Yes. So it is important to remember we're looking for new teddy bears, right? Brand new teddy bears. We normally end up with hundreds, and that's what we're looking to do again this year, right? So we have 2 ways. You can either bring them here physically, or we also do have an Amazon gift registry where you can just purchase it online yourself, and then it will be delivered here to Unity San Francisco. So we're going to be running this through the entire month of February. Also, if you're interested, you'll see there's a flyer out in our foyer for mentors for foster kids. And I know that for Toby, his mentor was one of his only constants through his entire experience in foster care. So if that's something that speaks to your heart, there is something in the right as you're heading to the bottom of this, as you're at the top of the stairs. And if that's something that you're interested in, that might be a beautiful way to serve. So what I'd like to do right now is I'd like us to just call into our hearts all of these kids who really are us, that feel as if we don't have a home, who feel as if the world is not so stable around us. And so we're going to invite them into our hearts as we anchor the love, which we are going to symbolize with those teddy bears that we give them. But that love is palpable, that love is present. So we have an affirmation that we say, you are God's perfect expression of divine life. We see you and we love you exactly the way you are. Can we please know this together? You are God's perfect expression of divine life. We see you and we love you exactly the way you are. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, everyone. So I am going to invite Brittany Gilmore to come on up here for our opening song for the talk. And I'm going to invite everybody to really just allow, this song is testimony. This song is powerful. And to really allow the voice that is Brittany to be your voice in this moment.
I do need the words here. Okay. Thank you. Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is. where I dance. Joy lifts my feet, where I live. Beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me, as me. Oh, where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now and forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. Where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me, as me. Oh, oh, ooh, ah, where I am and where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and live. God is, I am, love is, and I am, I am.
Thank you. Could feel the stillness in the room. Nobody wanted to break the trance, right? Thank you so much, Brittany. So what I love about that song is that it really demonstrates the interconnection between the first principle, which Ken covered last week, and the second principle, which I'm going to be diving into today. So we have been looking at Unity's 5 principles, right? And the first one, there is only one power and one presence, active as the universe in my life, God. And whatever triggers that word God might have for you, the invitation is to just breathe into it, right? Because that understanding of God, there are many names that are all speaking to the same thing. For the purposes of clarity and ease, I'm going to be using the word God, right? We're not talking about a deity that is anthropomorphized, that is personified. We are talking about the divine beingness that is all consciousness. And this is part of Unity's gift, is this understanding of the evolving consciousness of how we understand even what God is. Ken talked a little bit about this last week, that the idea that we created God in our image. And what Unity is attempting to do is to say it actually is the reverse. There is that which is everywhere present, and we are made in the image and likeness. And that is our second principle. We are divinity in expression, and therefore we are inherently good. And right here, there's a little hiccup, right? What does that mean, inherently good? So unity is about 130 years old, right? The tradition. So it's why it's called New Thought is because it's a new thought. When we compare it to the legacy of the more systematic traditions, right, that have been around for thousands upon thousands and thousands of years, we are a new idea. We are a new thought. And part of how unity came into being was within this understanding of God as perhaps not even being inherently good. Ken touched on this last week as well. We used to say God the good, and we have eliminated that from our conversation. It's still lingering though, can you see here? And therefore we are inherently good. And the reason why it's lingering is because this evolving consciousness is moving us into a new understanding. And where we used to be was this idea that we were born in sin. Where we used to be was this idea that there was something inherently wrong with us, that was actually the beginnings. And there are some faith traditions that believe that infants are born into sin, right? New Thought was saying, no, we are not born into sin. We, at the root of our root, at the base of our base, are inherently good. Now, that doesn't mean that everything we do in time and in space is inherently good. But it means that what is available to us always is that which is the divinity that we are. And that is inherently good. There's no trickster God anymore. There's no God that's trying to pull the rug out from underneath you. There's no God that might decide. Think about the story of Job. That's just, good man doing good works, and God just decides to test him. That understanding of God is not what unity believes. Unity believes that the understanding that is the beingness of the divine is a constant. It never changes. It never alters. It is reliable. It is dependable. It is something you can lean into. It is not something that you have to worry may or may not show up as your life. It is always available and always accessible. That is the truth. So if we are made in the image and likeness, if we are these divine expressions of that which is a constant, of that which is always available, of that which is fully present, then guess what? It's available as us too. So there's an evolution within the context of, so unity is grounded in Judeo-Christian, with a lot of Hindu Vedic stuff thrown in as well. Charles Fillmore studied the Hindu Vedic system. And so we have this Judeo-Christian and we have this Hindu influence. And the thing about unity is that we are open at the top. So while we have the things that we know and believe, we are also open to the fact that there is an evolving consciousness that will continually be revealing more and never less of who we truly are. So as we evolve, we're evolving personally and we're evolving collectively. So if we look at the Judeo-Christian tradition, one of the most powerful and the most sacred of prayers in the Jewish tradition is the Shema. And the Shema says, "Hear, O Israel, Adonai our God, Adonai is one." And again, remembering the historical context that this burst of insight about who we are and what God is arose at a time when there were gods everywhere. There were gods all over the place. Everybody had their own God. Everybody prayed to a number of different gods. It was very anthropomorphized. Gods literally walked the earth with you. Well, what Judaism said was there's only one. There's only one power. There's only one presence. It was radical at its time, right? Radical at its time. And then Jesus comes along. Now remember, there was no Christianity when Jesus was walking the planet, right? Christianity didn't exist when Jesus was walking the planet. What he was a devout Jewish, probably rabbi, right? That's what his foundations were. So what he did was take the Shema, the Holy of Holies, right, that there is only one, and he transforms this into I and the Father are one. He not only says that there's only one God, he takes it that next step, which is that if there's only one power and one presence, then I also have to be it. Because nothing is separate. That was radical. Can you feel how radical that was? That there truly is no separation? No separation. And what does that actually mean if we are actually one? Whatever our understanding of God is, in Jesus' time it was the Father, right? That was the language of the time. And it's actually me. So Myrtle Fillmore puts it this way. I am is God expressing in you, in your mind, your soul, and body. Now, Myrtle, who I love, I think she's just amazing in terms of her clarity around what she knew and understood, was also writing 120, 90, 100 years ago. What we would say now is that I am is God expressing as you, as your mind, as your soul, as your body. Can you feel the subtle difference there? We are removing a veil of separation. It's not something that's in me, it's something that is me. And that too is a very radical idea. So God is, I am. Whatever it is that you recognize, that you understand God as, right? Well, it is also the I am. So if you recognize that God is power, then guess what? I am the power. And if you recognize that God is compassion, then guess what? You are compassion. That is the equation. There is no separation. And yet we feel like there's separation, right? We think, well, I can't be, the cosmos, all of that, that's so big. How could that possibly be me? What if it actually is you? What if all the power of the cosmos, what if all of that infinite awareness is actually available for you right now? What would you do? How would you be? How would you show up in the world if you knew that you had that much available to you? In Unity, we often talk about the stages of evolving consciousness, right? In New Thought. It's not just Unity, it's in New Thought. And so how it relates to our understanding of our own divinity is that first level is what we would call victim consciousness. And it's where we are so separate from the understanding of God, is that we think that everything is happening to us, that we are not a participant, we are being buffeted by the world. Can anybody in here relate to some victim consciousness? I have my hand up, right? This is happening to me. I'm powerless. I have no control. It's out and not, right? That is victim consciousness. And in that place, that space, we are about as far away from the I am as we could possibly be. And then the next stage of evolving consciousness is called the manifester. It can also sometimes be called the manipulator, because we can use our understanding that we're actually not powerless. I actually have power. I actually have something here that's larger, so things aren't happening to me, but we think that things are happening by me. I make it happen. Me, little old me. I am so strong. And this by me is very, very much an American consciousness, right? That I am going to make this happen. I can pull myself up by my bootstraps. I can make this situation look the way I want this situation to look. Can you see why it's also sometimes called the manipulator? Because that can be what we're trying to do. We're trying to make things work the way we want them to work. But the way we want them to work isn't our divine understanding. It's our small, scared, anything but letting things happen to me. So I am going to take control. And what can often happen is in our the shadow side of the manifester is that then we start doing things to other people or to the world because better them than me. The third stage is called vessel consciousness or channel consciousness. And we hear a lot of that in unity, all right? It's moving through me. I caught, God spoke, and I caught this idea. And it's still coming from out there somewhere, but it's actually moving through us in some way. So we're able to let go of some of the control. We're able to let go of some of the idea that we have to decide what it looks like. And we're able to surrender into an idea that there's something larger at work than just our personal egoic concerns, and that we are open to what that might be. And then the last level of consciousness is verity, Christ consciousness, the I am. And that is where any sense of separation is completely obliterated. Now, I have had moments of this in meditation, right? Anyone else ever experienced just a moment, even if it's a moment, where the sense of self, my sense of self, for a moment disappears, and there's something else that I am that is so powerful. That is what we're constantly inviting ourselves to engage with and to step into. And we do it with compassion because, as I said, I fall into victim consciousness. This is happening to me. We notice where we are centered, where are our thoughts, where are we? And the goal and the idea is that we're inviting ourselves into the I am. And one way to do that is by recognizing how God is. If we see that God is whole, God is beauty, then we get to say that about ourselves. I am whole. And then we go, I don't feel whole. And we say, but I am whole. The I am that I am is whole. So the I am is also the name of God. When Moses is at the burning bush speaks and says, I am that I am. Say that I am has sent you. That is literally the name of the divine in Scripture. So when we say I am, we are affirming that we are actually divine. That is what we are saying yes to. So the invitation with the I am consciousness is that we stand in our spiritual authority, that we allow ourselves to truly be that powerful. Not from a I can control everything kind of way, but that we are that powerful in knowing that no matter what arises in time and in space, that there is that within us that can never be hurt, harmed, or endangered. There is that we are, that is eternal. And as I say yes, it is revealed in time and in space. Everything around the I am consciousness is about the revelation of our Christ nature, so that we can show up as the name and the nature of the divine. That is our continual work within unity. And we have affirmations, right? Affirmations have now become so commonplace that a lot of people don't even know that they come out of New Thought. New Thought is the founder of this idea of affirming, because what we're affirming is, I am peace, I am grace, I am joy. Basically, we're saying, my name is peace. My true nature is love. That's what we're saying when we say, I am. So Charles Fillmore has this quote, which I thought was very interesting, that the center of consciousness, the I am, has power just to the extent you have the courage to assert your power. Eric Butterworth would have said it this way: God can only work for you to the degree that it can work through you. And we would now say, Eric Butterworth wrote that 50 years ago, God only can work for us to the degree that we allow it to live as us. That is how we get to show up as the divine. So the invitation here is courage. I remember the first time I began to understand the power of affirmative prayer, which we're going to get to next week. The power of affirmative prayer, the power of the I am. It made me so uncomfortable. I can't even tell you how uncomfortable it made me. And part of why it made me uncomfortable was because I was still thinking that it was my little personality self that was that powerful. And my little personality self doesn't really want to be that powerful, number one. Or if it is going to be that powerful, I know that its goals and its dreams and what it wants is not necessarily grounded in the truth of all beingness. So it made me uncomfortable until I realized that it's not little Deanne that is that powerful. It's the truth of who I am, uniquely expressing as Deanne, that is that powerful. So there's an integration. There's an integration of our personality, of our divinity. We don't hate the personality. We don't dislike the ego. We are living in time and in space. We need that aspect of ourself in order to actually be in the world. But where we are living from and choosing from and anchoring ourselves from is not from that small egoic aspect of ourself. It's from the great I am. It is from the truth of our beingness. So the thing that when we are that powerful, that we are actually anchoring, isn't something that's taking care of our small needs. What we're anchoring is the things that are transforming the world. We are part of that evolving consciousness. We are part of an awakening within ourselves and within everyone else. Because as we awaken, there's only one power, and I am it, but so are you, and so are you, and there's only one. So as I awaken, so does someone else. And as they awaken, so do I. And what we get to anchor is compassion and love and harmony and wholeness and peace and joy and abundance. That is what we are anchoring and living as the I am. Not the small part of us that wants the peace of whatever it is that we think we want, but this larger calling to be a space, to be the beingness of the divine. So the Buddha says, those who experience the unity of life see their own self in all beings and all beings in their own self. That is where we want to choose from. That is the I am. So whatever fear you have about being too powerful, whatever fear you have about what that might mean, about taking something from somebody else, or just whatever that is, whatever story you have created in your understanding that is limiting you standing in the I am that you are, whatever that limiting story is, whether it's about not being enough or being too much, when you can see yourself, you can also see everyone else as part, as the self. And when we choose from that place, all we're doing is choosing for the greater good. That is what underlies every decision that we make when we are originating from the I am. This idea that nothing is against us. Everything is for us. And if everything is for me, then everything is for you. And that is possible. It actually is possible that everything can work for everyone's greatest good. And when we actually believe that and internalize it and own it and stand in it, this world will be transformed. But it begins right here. It begins with this work of standing in your own power, of standing in your own spiritual authority, of standing as the I am. That is your true nature and your true name. Not Deanne. I am is your true name. And part of what we are continually inviting ourselves into is how do we raise the veils between our understanding of the wholeness that is our birthright and our understanding that we are living in. And we cultivate that consciousness through meditation and what Myrtle Fillmore called the silence. And the silence is a very specific awareness. So meditation can have lots of pathways. We can follow our breath. We can listen to guided meditations. Meditation is this very wide, varied awareness, all of it designed to help us center. And ultimately, what we're using meditation to do is to guide us to the silence. And the silence is those moments when we don't even know there's a moment. The silence is that space where we're not following our breath anymore and we're not listening to whatever that is. We are pure beingness. So our meditation practice is all about cultivating the pathway within ourselves so that we can truly be still and know. Jesus said, "Greater things than these will you do." Greater things than these. The man walked around healing blind people. Right? Greater things than these will you do. But it asks that you cultivate that awareness of the I am. And wherever it is that you feel stuck, that is the place within yourself. So I've been having some hip challenges, and thank you all for the prayers, and I'm doing so much better. And part of it is because I decided in a moment of clarity in meditation that I am owning my capacity to heal. I am owning it. I am standing in my spiritual authority to say yes to that. And I don't know what that's going to look like in time and space. I'm not attached to what it looks like. What I am committed to is this understanding of healing that is always available and always accessible. And that has shifted my experience. That's what I want to invite all of you into. Standing in your capacity to truly be the great I am. It is available and accessible as each one of us. So I'm going to invite our music team to come on up here, and we're going to step into this process of meditation, cultivating the silence. If you know the words to this song, feel free to sing along. I know it's a favorite of the community. And the idea is, how are you releasing whatever interference there is between you and your understanding of God? Because they are one and the same.
I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right I'm raising the veil.
So we breathe into this space, this place where we're willing to raise the veil, to release any obstacles, the limiting ideas that we place upon ourselves. We are larger than we can possibly imagine. We are present in time and space in these magnificent body temples, and we are so much more. Breathing into that awareness of our expansion. Our true nature, our true name is infinite, is all love, all peace, all joy, every dimension of our being, body, mind, heart, breath. So we quiet the mind even more. We open our heart. We open our beingness to that which we truly are. Let us rest here together for a few minutes in the silence. How good it is to be still and to welcome the silence that is infinite, magnificent, laying aside whatever it is that we think we need to do or be, and just allowing the I am that we all are full sway. This is the space, the place from which we are always invited to live, breathe, and have our beingness. Always available, always accessible. So in this moment, affirming the I am that you are to yourself. I am love. I am peace. I am power. How good it is to know that we can always raise the veil.
Between me and my God, no separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart.
Right here,
God is right here in my heart.
the very truth of who you are.
God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil.
So we raise that veil.
God is right here
Open your arms and allow your heart to be open.
In my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil.
And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Tyler?
This space that we are in together, this stillness and this knowing. We take moments here at Unity San Francisco. We do this thing, we call them spiritual practices. We ask ourselves, how can I use my divine consciousness to set an intention? So I invite you to take out your Sunday bulletin, looking at this spiritual connection card. There's these sentences that we ask you to think about these phrases and say, do these ring true for you? If they do, join with us, connect with us by setting your intention in these ways. The first choice, I'm choosing right now to notice where I separate myself and God. Can I do that this week? But that caused some shifts in my thinking for me to notice where I separate myself and God. Or I choose to cultivate I am consciousness in the silence, meditating, cultivating, contemplating. Right now I'm choosing to be willing to stand in my spiritual authority, not just this week, choosing to bring that into my mind as a practice throughout the year and forever. And another choice, to choose to live bravely from my true nature and my true name. I am. To live from that. So to notice, to cultivate, to be willing to stand, and then to choose to live bravely. Whichever of these ring true for you, I invite you to fill out your spiritual connection card, drop it in the offering basket. Reverend Ken and Deanne, through the week, when they read the spiritual connection card, they are agreeing with you. Yes, it is so that you have declared and chosen to grow into these concepts. There's also a space to write your own, or you can put a prayer request right here on the spiritual connection card, or you can write your own fifth commitment, your own affirmation, your own spiritual practice. If you're viewing with us online, then I invite you to click the button for the spiritual connection card if you're on our website, or the connection card link in the chat if you're on Facebook or YouTube. So these are just a variety of ways to set your intention into motion and to participate with us here at Unity San Francisco. Another way to participate is by supporting us with your time and talent and treasure. You can volunteer here, but if you choose to also give of your financial love and support, there is a variety of ways to do that. You can use your cell phone, you can text Unity SF and send that to 44321. You can also use the white envelope, which is in the chair pocket in the seat in front of you. You can click the donate button, which is on our website, or you can click the donate link in the chat if you're on a social media platform. So these are ways to support Unity San Francisco, and let's invite Reverend Deanne up to talk about giving and receiving.
Thank you, Tyler. So, hi, everybody. I know that I've been hearing a little murmuring going on. I know that Ken talked to everyone last week around our budget and how we did not meet our budget this year, right, last year. That we are $40,000, about $40,000 in the red. And I know that that has burbled upward in the community. So I wanted to speak to a couple things just to be really clear. I still have a job, okay? Misa still has a job. So I know that there's been some things happening and concern. And what I want to say to all of you is that this is an opportunity for us as a community to come together even stronger. This is our year of commitment. This is our year when we are saying, I mean, I don't know about you personally, I don't know how I would have gotten through the past 3 years if it hadn't been for these teachings, if it hadn't been for what happens when I come in on Sundays, what happens with my practice with Peace in the Midst, what happens. I honestly don't quite know how people who don't have this survived COVID, really. So this is an opportunity for us to really anchor ourselves in this commitment. And we are a membership community. And what that means is that you guys actually own the church. You actually own this spiritual community. So if there are things that came alive for you, if there are things that were like, oh, well, what is it that's yours to do? As you stand in your I am, as you stand in how powerful you are, as you stand in your capacity to create, what is it that you are called to do? And one of the things that we are inviting everyone into is our Conscious Commitment campaign. So they are in the seat backs in front of you, and there is a link that you can click because it's also online. You can fill this out online. But this is an opportunity for you to make a pledge. That what is it that you are pledging to give of your time, talent, and treasure to Unity San Francisco for this coming year? And the reason why this is so important is that this is how we actually balance our budget. If we know that we have X amount of pledges coming in, then it allows us to be responsible stewards for this magnificent institution and to be able to make sure that all of the programming that we're doing can continue and more. The idea is and more. So please consider making a conscious commitment. There's also just a need for people. I know that we are here, we are live, we are making this happen, and we do need physical support in the building. We need support for people to greet people and hand out programs as people come in the door. You can be totally masked. We need people to greet people outside. You can be totally masked. We can do this in a way that is very safe. But in order for us to make service happen, we need people to show up. Hospitality, right? This is time. We are being invited to step out in new and powerful ways. And I give to Unity San Francisco, and I also give to Unity in Marin, because these communities support the values that I believe in. And I remember the first time I walked into a New Thought community, and I just cried like a baby in the back of the room. That's all I did, was cry, because I felt so broken. And as I heard this teaching, I realized that that brokenness was not truth. And it took probably a year for it to really sort of percolate through me. And I slowly became more involved and more committed and giving more of my time and more of my energy and more of my yes. I give now so that the people who come into this community, the way I came into this community, have the space to heal so that they can understand the truth of their abundance, the truth of how valuable this teaching is, and be able to eventually show up in a more connected way. It is so important to me that this space exists, and I give because of that importance. So we're going to start passing the baskets now. You can put your conscious commitment on cards in the baskets. You can put your tithe in the baskets, and you can also put your spiritual connection card. So as those baskets are getting ready to come around, we're going to do our giving affirmation. And we're going to say it and know that we really mean it. I'll say it first, and then you can repeat it after me. I give with abundant love and joy. As I give, I receive. Can we know this together? I give with abundant love and joy. As I give, I receive. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
So it is. So we always have programs and events ongoing. Let's talk about
Part of what your tithes support.
Right. And first off, we always want to invite everybody to come here in person for Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. We also have the 10:15 sound meditation. Usually Reverend Elizabeth or someone else will lead the sound meditation, but every Sunday, just bring your proof of vaccination. We're always going to follow the city guidelines, and so thank you for bringing your vaccination and wearing the masks during the service. And let's see, we also want to invite everybody to become a member because coming up at the end of February is our annual meeting. Everyone who's already a member, raise your hand if you're already a member. Thank you so much. I want to also say, renew your membership because that's part of the bylaws is that
Right.
we members have to renew to keep that membership list active. And then if you would like to join us in this New Thought movement, join us with your agreement and with your love. There's a few commitments. Fill out either the paperwork downstairs or go to the website indicating you'd like to become a member, and Reverend Ken will contact you and discuss all the requirements and all the benefits of being a member. You get to be a prayer chaplain if you choose. You get to be on the governing board if you choose, things like that. So join us.
And you get to be part of the decision making. We're in the midst of a lot of decisions, you
That's
guys.
right.
Right?
That's
Around the
right.
building. If you want to be part of that decision making process, you need to be a voting member.
Yep. So join us. And then
Hello.
Reverend
I'm
Ken.
here to
We
talk
got
to
Ken.
you about a year of abundance. After the last 2 years of our lives, where we have been on this roller coaster, emotional, physical, psychological roller coaster, I think it's time for a reset. A time for us to go back to basics and to build structures that are sustainable and that can get us out of this malaise, out of this period of languishing. So what I am intending to do in a year-long course is to take it slow and easy, to build step by step on the foundations that we need to prosper, the foundations that will build us incrementally to a new and vibrant future. And I plan to do it with you, for us to come together to talk about what's really going on in our lives, what's really getting in the way of our flourishing, and to build the structure and a community that can lift us to places we only can imagine and beyond what we can imagine. So I invite you to commit today to a structure and a process that will be filled with ease and grace, with thoughtfulness, kindness, and compassion. A process that will lift us, one and all, to a vibrant, abundant, and peaceful future. Join us for a year of abundance and shift your life forever.
So if you're interested, the class, this year-long program that Ken is launching is available. You can still join through February 23rd, and then it will be closed for the rest of the year. So you need to attend the second session in order to continue forward. If anyone is interested, you can find out more information on our website. And let me say this too, that Absolute Abundance is Ken's personal ministry. So we run the Absolute Abundance programs here at Unity San Francisco, but it's his personal ministry. The way I have my Radiant Joy, and that's my personal ministry, Absolute Abundance is his personal ministry. So this is his ministry, which he shares with Unity San Francisco and everyone who is here, right? One of the things Absolute Abundance does is tithes to Unity San Francisco, right?
And
So-
also running some of his courses, Miami, Florida right now, Prescott, Arizona, I think Salem, Oregon. So there's a variety of churches, New Thought churches
Don't
running
forget
Absolute
Unity
Abundance.
San Francisco and Marin.
Right. Right now, running
We're running First Steps.
Is Reverend
That's right.
Deanne teaching First Steps
And
as
there,
well.
we will be doing Metamorphosis in the spring.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in abundance and there will be a chance in the spring with Metamorphosis, which I'll be teaching.
Right.
All right. Dave Kuberberg's 5 Principles. This class, you can drop into this class. You do need the book. So make sure you have the book because they are going to be moving forward with the book. So it is Sundays after service starting here in the sanctuary, and it's also available virtually. So if you'd like to stick around today and get to see a sense, the 5 Principles is what we've been covering this whole week.
Yes.
So if you want to dive into them even more,
Right.
Dave Kuberberg is an incredible facilitator, and it's going to go deep and it's going to be powerful.
Delicious. I love it. Now also we're planning a retreat that over at home office in Lee's Summit, Missouri at Unity Village, they're going to be having a weekend right after Easter, April 21st through 24th. If you'd like to join Reverend Ken and join with the Unity movement, they're going to be having this retreat where they're going to be exploring the Enneagram as a spiritual tool to self-discovery.
If you've never been to the village, it's totally worth the trip.
Yes.
Totally. It's beautiful.
So go to the website, find out more about that retreat weekend in April.
And as always, we have daily meditations. We've got Reverend Elizabeth on Sundays with her fabulous sound meditation. And then I also lead Peace in the Midst, which is at noon every day for 15 minutes. If you want to begin to cultivate the I Am, and you're looking for a supportive space with some guided meditation and then some silence, Peace in the Midst at noon every day. You can find the Zoom link on our website, and it's also on Facebook, Unity San Francisco's Facebook page. I post live.
Right, beautiful. And then we've been doing the affirmative prayer yoga with Dr. Rain O'Connor, a physical therapist. We've had a little hiatus. It's going to be restarting on Tuesday, February 15th, and then it'll be continuing in its previous sequence Sundays right after service and Tuesday nights at 5 p.m. So join us, go to the website, but it resumes February 15th.
Yep. So thank you to everybody that makes this service possible. Can we give Brittany Gilmore some love? Can we love up our sound team, our fabulous band, our AV team? Woo! Thank you all. Thank you to everybody who made hospitality possible. There's great food downstairs, so please be sure to join us. We have a closing affirmation that we say because we truly are committed to making this a world that works for everyone. I will say it first, and I'll invite you to know it with me. I commit to creating a world of safety, equity, and equality. Can we know this together, please? I commit to creating a world of safety, equity, and equality. And so it is.
So it is.
So we're going to invite our music team back up. If you'd want to stand as you're willing and able for our closing song, Grateful.
All that I've been and all that I'll ever be. It's a blessing, it's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be. It's a blessing, it's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am, all that I am, all that I see, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's a blessing. It's so amazing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's a blessing. It's so amazing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All of it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it.